today we're here with the legend himself,
This
Troy.
old dude.
He's humble, man. This man is the most interesting man in the world, yo. He needs his own commercial. But today we want to
I'm
talk about.
blessed to be on for a second. I'm blessed to be with my man Bobby, who be on them streets, you know, getting that information from people, bro. I be seeing you, my man, and you be getting it in. So it's a blessing to be here on your show.
I appreciate it. And today we're going to talk about retiring in Kenya, like my favorite country. And obviously, it's your favorite country because you've been here for 10 years. How do you feel about retiring in Kenya?
I personally believe now I've lived around the states in a bunch of different cities. I've lived in London. I believe, and I've been blessed to travel the world. I believe that Nairobi, Kenya, is the best place in the world to live in regards to quality of life for a black person. I'm on speaking for black folks. Just the quality of life is unbelievable, and the people are unbelievable, and it's very technological country. Everything works here.
Yes,
Electric's on, water works, the Wi-Fi is everywhere. Great hotels, great clubs, great bars, great restaurants, great lounges, great places to stay. You know, you go on an Airbnb in Nairobi and you would feel like you might be in Miami somewhere in some of the spots like that you can rent. You know, some of the homes are better than the homes I've seen in the Hamptons or Martha's Vineyard or LA or Florida, like just beautiful homes that you can rent, you know, or buy. And it's low stress here in regards to you're not always looking over your shoulder thinking somebody's trying to get you.
Yeah.
Like in other African countries or even places in the States. You know, I like to say here, I can run at 75% and it works. I don't have to be 100% all the time here.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like in Kenya, you can really just kind of let your guard down.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of places where people want to retire, they might be cheap, but you're worried about so many other things.
Right.
Like, so how would you compare the cost of living like for you retiring here versus retiring in America for the same lifestyle?
I like to say Kenya is in between like Raleigh and Charlotte, like the cost of living. Food, going out, rent, the whole bit. But, the thing that gets you over here that helps a lot in regards to your quality of life is having somebody to be able to cook and clean for you, you know, 5 to 7 days a week or 3 days a week, whatever you need. That's very cheap. Like 10 years ago, we had a nanny in Harlem. We had 2 kids, and we were paying $450 a week for a nanny to only work from, she'd pick the kids up at 3 o'clock and she'd leave the crib like 7:38, 5 days a week. So we were paying close to $2,000 a month for a nanny 10 years ago.
That's insane.
When we came to Kenya and we had a live-in nanny, we paid $250. Now this was 10 years ago. Price may have gone up a little bit, but we paid $250 a month for her to cook and clean 5 days a week. And she could cook, like cook, and clean her butt off. Beautiful woman, Mary, like she's unbelievable woman. But you can get that here, and that helps in your quality of life. You know, when you don't have to, when someone says to you, you know, Mr. Bobby, do you want your protein shake in the morning or do you want your eggs and bacon? You know, that's kind of dope. And what time are you coming downstairs? Like, It's just kind of hot.
That is amazing.
It's like literally living in a hotel, you know, and you're at home, you know. And I love that. I love that here.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell people about coming back to Kenya specifically. Like the cost of services, like even from like around the world, having like a live-in maid slash nanny, having a personal cook, having a trainer, you're paying like pennies on a dollar. And especially for people who's older and trying to look for retirement, like you don't want to be cooking 24/7. You want to just chill. Like you want to probably go to a safari, or you just want to wake up and eat your breakfast. So that is perfect for people who want to come out here that's older.
Even a driver. Like when my family was here, we had a driver, and I think we were paying him $250, $275 a month to have access for him to drive us around 5 to 7 days a week, depending upon what we needed. So if you got kids and you at work, the driver takes the kids to their sporting events or birthday parties or whatever you need. Imagine paying somebody or pick up groceries for you, like $250, $300 a month to have somebody do all that stuff for you. Like quality of life, again. Like all that stuff you don't really even have to think about. It's just done, which is dope.
Yeah, you could literally automate your life. But I know a big concern with people who are close to retirement or thinking about retirement is healthcare. And you've been here for 10 years. I'm pretty sure you have experiences of going, like, seeing a doctor. How is Kenya's healthcare?
So, great doctors here. It's a gang of really good hospitals here. Healthcare here is literally, I'll give you a good comparison. God bless you, Mark. One of my boys died last August, last year. Very fit, Mark Anderson. Rode his bike 5 days a week, worked out 5 days a week, same age as me. Actually, Mark was a year older, so he's 60. He died, he had a heart attack in his sleep. So all of his friends got scared, was like, oh, let's go get a stress test. So when I was in the States, I went, got a stress test. Then the guy was like, I see a little abnormality when your heart gets past like 170 beats a minute. You need to go get your heart scanned. So I was like, so how much is that gonna cost? And my insurance covers me here. He was like, well, if you get it right away, I think that he was quoting me like $4,000. But if you wait until like next week or the week after, it might cost you like $2,500, $3,000. And I was like, nah, I'm good on that. I'll wait. And he was literally trying to like scare me into like, you need to get this done now. And I was like, damn, I've been working out all week. I'm good. Like, I eat healthy. And I actually ate a lot healthier than my boy Mark did. And I take a ton of vitamins and herbs. So I was like, I think I'll be good until I get back to Kenya. Cost me $300 to get scanned here. $300, dude.
So,
$300. Even medication here is damn near 2%, 2 to 5% the cost of medication in the States.
Yeah. That's one thing that people don't understand is like Kenya is really, really rising, and medical tourism is one of the big industries that's growing in Kenya because like they're number 2 right now in Africa, of all of Africa. They're only after South Africa. So they're coming up here, and like I went to the doctor in Kenya before. It was literally like, it felt like it was damn near free. How cheap it was. Like I think I paid like $25, $30 for like a checkup or something like that.
My yearly full body checkup, I think might cost me $75 to $100.
Yeah, and that includes what?
Everything, like just everything.
MRIs.
Everything, everything. $75 to $100.
Yeah.
You know, and it's at a reputable, really nice, new, dope ass spot. They got all the high tech stuff there. You know, so yeah, if you old and you tired of your medical bills, come to Kenya.
Okay, so yeah. As far as like, cause you've been here for a while.
Hold on, can I slide this in?
Go ahead.
Even over medical bills, because of the quality of life and because of the food here and the air here and the less stress here and living like a human being and not living like carrying the weight of being a black man or a black woman, that's good for your health. Not eating GMO foods, it's good for your health. Everything here is organic.
Yes, speak on that. Yeah.
All the meat, if you eat a chicken, a pig, a cow, it was living a day or two ago.
Yeah.
You're eating some fish, it was in the ocean, it was swimming a day or two ago. Like, everything is fresh here. And that's good for your mind, body, spirit, and soul. You know, my mom is 79. When I brought her here 5 months ago, she came here in June, so maybe it was 5-6 months ago. When she came, blood pressure was up. She's living in North Carolina. Blood pressure was up. She had swelling in her knees, swelling in her ankles, all that black shit. After 3 months of being here, blood pressure down, no swelling at all. I could afford to get her a trainer 4 days a week. She's eating healthy. She looks good. She's lost 20 pounds since June. She's in her best health that she's been like since she's in her 40s.
Wow.
And she only been here for like 6 months. That's what Kenya can do to you. I look better and I'm more healthier now at 59 than I was at 40. And it's that American living, like that stress, that energy, that carrying around your blackness every second of the day as soon as you step out the house. You know, that shit's heavy. And it weighs on you in all kinds of ways that we don't even really know because we just used to it. Eating that GMO food, you know, that stuff is horrible for you. Your health starts from your gut. If your gut ain't right, your health ain't gonna be right.
Yeah, that's right. Because, like, even me, if I go back to the States right now, I will put on 10 pounds.
See, that's crazy you say that, and you're young. Yeah. So I figure you streamline, so I couldn't see you picking up weight like that. Me, it's 5 pounds a month. If I'm there for a month, I pick up 5 pounds. I'm there for 2 months. One time I was there for 3 months, I picked up 15 pounds. And my diet was the same as my diet here. The only thing that's different, I might eat a little bit more ice cream when I'm in the States. And when I'm in Philly, I always have a cheesesteak or hoagie. But that's not enough to put on 15 damn pounds. It's the food.
Yeah, it's literally the food. Because, yeah, when I came to Kenya, I lost 10 pounds. Like, it's...
Wow.
So, yeah, we had to move around a little bit. We had some outside disturbances.
Some babies making noise.
Yeah, but...
Bobby was like, I can't have this.
Nah, people gotta get all this information because this man be dropping gems, though.
Nah, thanks, boss.
So we were talking about visa options for retirement, and you said there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different visas. Kenya has damn near about 7, 8 different visa options you can have. Whether or not it's a work permit, they even have a retirement visa, and I have a person that handles all that stuff for me and any of my people coming in. So any questions or whatever like that, just Bobby will put my information
in the description.
Yeah, and hit me up, and I'll turn you on to my person. And she's American and she lives here, and that's her job. She handles all visas.
Yes. So that link will be in the description and on the first pinned comment. But yeah, for people who's never been to Africa and they're thinking about retiring, how do you think about the cultural differences of like America, the cultural difference of Kenya? Like,
That's a damn good question. I'm gonna tell you why. Because most black folks have roots in the South. Now, whether or not you spent time in the South or not, then that's on you. But if you spent time in the South, I think the South has more of a cultural has more cultural similarities to Kenya or many African countries because they've kept a lot of traditions and vibes and energy more so than people who live in the north or the west coast, and I just see a lot of cultural similarities in between the South and Kenya. But it makes sense because all African Americans basically were in the South when we first came from Africa. So, and that's the biggest part of migration in regards to black folks moving out throughout the U.S. They were all in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, parts of Florida, and then eventually over time they migrated across. Now, I know there's some people who's probably watching you that's like, oh, black people been in the U.S. even before slavery. I know that. All right, so don't even bring that up. I know that. We were everywhere before slavery. Okay, so I know that. So, yeah, it's I don't find many big cultural differences. I just find maybe in certain things, Kenyans might be just a little bit more conservative on certain issues, and then more liberal on other issues. But basically kind of like the same. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I like to say like there's not a huge culture shock when you come to Kenya.
Not at all.
It's kind of like Kenya, like for me, it's kind of like America in Africa for the most part because like it's super developed. It's easy to get around. It's not like
everybody speaks English.
Yeah, everybody speaks English. The systems actually work. I've been to other African countries and they still have growing pains of some stuff not work. Like trying to get an Uber takes you like 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
You order Uber here.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes at the longest, to get an Uber here.
So what do you think would be the greatest culture shock from coming from the West to Kenya? If there's any you can think of.
I know one that I've had to adjust. Kenyans don't really curse a lot. So I've had to, watch my cursing sometimes. Because I've found, I've seen people's reactions on certain words. I'm like, ooh. And then I'll talk to my friends afterwards. I was like, yo, when I said such and such, they were like, yeah, that's a really bad word here. And I'm like, really? Especially the MF word, which is one of my favorite words.
That's one of my favorite
words.
Like
I use that for love. Like, I love you, but here it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that word or you called me that, So I'd say cursing really isn't a big thing, and Kenyans kind of look at it more kind of taboo. But other than that, everything's easy. Like, our cultures match very well. African American culture and Kenyan culture just goes together very, very, very well.
Yeah, it's like damn near you feel like they spend time in the States because like they get every reference. They know all our music. It's like what is missing? It's like was y'all in America? Like the first time I came here, I was like it was crazy. Okay, let's talk about safety because that's one of the big concerns about retirees. You want to retire, you don't want to worry about somebody gonna jack me.
Right.
How do you feel about safety concerns in Kenya?
I always say like I feel safer here than I do when I go back home. The worst thing that can happen to you here is somebody might steal your phone.
Yeah.
And that's just you being ignorant by having your window rolled down, you on your phone, you on an iPhone, somebody might snatch that joint. That can happen anywhere. But that's the worst that can happen to you. There are not a lot of guns in the city, like on the streets, so you don't really have to worry about gun violence. You just, as in anywhere, most black people come from a hood or some sort of hood in the States. So you're always taught to keep your eyes open everywhere you go. You're not walking around, with your head all in the sky, looking at the buildings and, unaware of your surroundings. We're all taught to be aware of your surroundings. So if you carry that here, you're fine, but you don't really have to worry about things here, like in other African countries or other countries in other cities in the States, where you always have to be on point, because every turn somebody trying to get you. Like, that's not here. Everybody's not trying to get you here. The woman is cleaning your spot, she ain't trying to really get you. Your Uber driver ain't really trying to get you. The lady that's serving your food at the restaurant, she ain't trying to get you. When you out at the club, you've been to clubs here.
Yes.
A lot of drunk people, but things run smooth. Ain't nobody trying to set you up, and take advantage of you. Oh, that's the American, let's set him up. I still keep my one eye open, my hood eye open at all times. That's just in me to do that. But I feel really relaxed everywhere I go. And safety here as a retiree or non-retiree, it's very, very safe. Come on, man, you go around, you out 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, going from club to this restaurant to that spot, and it's safe. You really, but just walk like you know where you're going, like black people normally do, and have a purpose, and keep one eye open at all times. You're good.
Yeah, this is like one of the safest countries I've been to, and I've been over 20 countries, and like, I'm talking about, like, I'm outside the tourist areas. Like, I walked around Zinneman at night.
Go places.
Like, I've been around places where you're never gonna go, and I never felt like my life was in danger. People were more trying to take care of me, like, are you good? Are you okay? And that's one of the things I love about Kenya. They're so welcoming to people. Like, it's not like they're trying to get you. It's kind of like they're trying to get you, like, welcome home. And like, are you okay? You sure you want to be here? This is Zinneman. You shouldn't be out here at 3 a.m. And I felt like that's different than other countries, because other countries, they want you to retire there just for your money. But Kenya, it's like they want you to basically become a Kenyan. Like, they embrace you fully. And for people who come in here, like, is there a big expat community, big retirement community here?
I'm in ask me that question after I've put something on top of what we were just talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a beautiful example. Kibera is one of the largest slums in Africa. The U.S. Embassy would tell you, don't go there. I started a basketball program like 10 years ago, and we had a tournament. Me and the guy who started Java Java's like Kenya's Starbucks. He's actually a white guy from California, but he gets invited to the picnic because he's a cool brother, like cool, unbelievable person. He and I started a basketball foundation where we would go into the hoods and teach kids how to play basketball, and then get them into take them out of the hood and get them in to private schools in Kenya to play basketball. So we were invited to this tournament in Kibera, and as I said, it's the largest slum possibly in Africa. It's definitely the largest slum in East Africa. So he went, he talked to his security team, and his security team said no. And then I went and I talked to some of my friends at the U.S. Embassy, and then I talked to some of my black Kenyan friends that worked at this agency where I was working at, and everybody said, no, don't go. So I called Kevin up, and I love this brother. I was like, yo, Kev, my people saying don't go. He was like, yeah, my people saying don't go too. I was like, but you know what that means, right? He's like, yeah, we going. I was like, yes. I was like, that's why I love your ass. Dude, I've been to Kabira damn near like 30 times and have never had a problem. Never had a problem. You know, people invite me into their homes. The vibe is cool. Like, and like I said, and I've said this many a time, and this is just a rule of thumb for traveling around the world, period, not just traveling to Kenya. As long as you don't bring that nasty American attitude, you know, like, oh, we're the best, and why do you do this, and and got 50 million dumbass questions on why things might be different. You know, as long as you go with the flow, and you're humble, and you're nice, you get love here. You know, just don't come with that American rah-rah shit. You know, then you won't get something else. But if you come with humbleness and appreciation and love and warmth, you won't get it back tenfold. And I get that here. I get love everywhere I go because I give love.
Facts.
And I don't come like this American, oh, let me fix this, and why do you do that? That's wrong, and we don't like that, and we don't do that in America, and I don't do that shit. You know, I appreciate everything, the good and the bad. You know, and if I got an effed up question, I'm gonna keep that shit to myself.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, like, you know, there is, if you give love here, it's reciprocated like tenfold.
Yeah.
And I really see that since like I've been here for so long now, like damn near 7 months. And you were saying, like, your boy Kevin, because I was talking about the expat community here. So
expat community. So I'm in 2 chat groups here that are African Americans who live in Kenya. One of them might have 250, the other one might have a little over 300 people. So together, it's over 500 black folks in this chat group that live in different parts of Kenya. You know, from the coast to Meru to Kisumu, just all over freaking Kenya. There's a huge black expat, and that's just the ones in the chat group. Like, there's probably 2 to 3 times more African Americans here that aren't in the chat group. You know, so there are lots of African American expats here. You know, lots who've gotten stuck here because they wanted to get stuck here. They came here for 2 to 3 years for a job and was like, yo, I'm not going anywhere else.
Yeah, Kenya would do that to you. It's something, it has to be something spiritual. I don't know if you call it juju or whatever. But once you come here, it's like it always calls you back.
Yep, we've had that conversation before. John be calling you.
Yeah.
Come back.
Like, what was the longest time you left Kenya?
4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
And it felt like you had to get back.
Oh my gosh, bro. Even when I go back, like I'm going back this Friday. My father passed, so going back for the funeral.
Condolences.
So going to Atlanta, and then I have Howard University's homecoming, where I'm throwing 2 big parties for Friday and Saturday night for homecoming, which is next week. Then I might go out to LA to go see my kids, or they're going to come see me on the East Coast. So working that out. But I'm so excited to see my family, so excited to see my friends, because I'm blessed to have relationships that last 55 years with some people. And I'm still cool with all my friends I grew up with in Philly, all my friends I went to Howard with in the 80s, all my friends that I came up with in the music industry in New York. So I'm blessed to have a beautiful network and circle, and I can't wait to see all of them. But when I'm back, other than seeing all of them, every day Kenya's calling me. Every day Kenya's like, psst, psst, yo, don't forget about us. You know, like, psst, psst, you know, don't forget about how you feel when you're there. You know, I really wish, if I could take, all right, say if I had no family and friends, or maybe I did, but the relationships weren't that bad.
Yeah.
Weren't that good. I would never go back to the States. Never. Ever, ever, ever. No reason to.
Mm.
But because I have family, friends, and unbelievable relationships, the Philadelphia Eagles and Howard University, I gotta include those because I like to go back and have that experience whenever I go back. But if I don't have family, friends, Philadelphia Eagles, Howard University, there's no reason to go back. Other than maybe business.
Yeah.
Other than business. But other than that, because there's so many places on this continent that I haven't been yet to experience that I want to experience. So why spend my money there when I can spend my money here, feel like a human being everywhere I go on a continent, and great weather, great people, great food, safe opportunities. Why not?
I totally agree with you. Like 100%. If it wasn't for my family and friends, I would never want to go back to the States again. So I would ask you a final question. If somebody wanted to come here and set up their life, want to retire, what do you think their budget should look like? You could just give an estimate.
You know, I don't like doing that because everybody's different. Everybody's got different food bills, different medical costs, different desires on how they like to live and stay. I'd say high end, if it's just one person, $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
Yeah.
Mid-range, $2,500, $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
That you'll spend. And I'm talking about being able to live in a nice spot, security, Ubers every day, eating out at restaurants, going on a couple dates, you know, I'd say around that range.
Yeah, that's a good range. That's a good range because that amount.
$5,000 to $6,000 a month, you could live real nice here. Like real nice. I'm talking about somebody cooking, cleaning, driving you around, you know, living in a dope spot, going out to eat.
Yeah.
Often, hitting a club or two on the weekends.
Yeah.
Traveling to the coast, you know, for weekend, long weekends, stuff like that. Just being able to do what you want to do. Nice. Kenya ain't cheap. So a lot of people feel like, I'm going to Africa, it's going to be cheap. You know, I'll be able to do everything for very little money. Nah, there's certain things here that are cheap.
Yeah.
And then there's certain things that are mid-range costs, the same thing you would cost and pay for. And I always keep on saying like a Raleigh or Charlotte, like somewhere in between there, in regards to the cost of living factor. You know, because when I go, and well, now I have my mom, but when I go to the supermarket, but I'm a foodie, and I buy things that are top quality, so I spend monthly on food $300 to $400 a month. But now it's with me and my mom, so it's like more around the $400.
Yeah.
But when it was just me, supermarket shopping, toiletries, groceries, all that kind of stuff, $300.
Yeah.
At the supermarket, maybe a little more.
Yeah, that's actually not that bad.
Nah, because when I go to New York, dude,
yeah,
I walk out a grocery store with 2 bags and spent damn near $300.
Facts.
Freaking crazy. This is crazy.
Like
and that's to last me for the week. 5 days maybe. You know, but still, you know, $300-400 is still $300-400. You know.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like your dollar stretch here about 5 times of what it would say in the States. But yeah, I want to have like your final words of why people should come to Kenya and retire here in Kenya from your opinion.
These words are gonna be real short. Quality of life, and I'm talking to the black folks. You're a human being. You don't have to carry that weight that we carry in the States and other places around the world. Just easy, beautiful living. Great weather. I personally believe, out of all the places I've been to, I don't know a better place in the world that has better weather. People don't realize, like, you don't need an AC. Out of all the places, like this nice apartment I stay in, it's one of the most high-end buildings in Nairobi. There's no AC. Unless you, like, you're somebody from another country, I need AC. But you don't really need AC. I've never had, in 10 years, I've never stayed in a place that had AC. You don't need heating. You know, the weather's never too hot and it's never too cold here. Because people don't realize that elevation in Nairobi is higher than Denver. So it's really high. So there's always a constant breeze. And in the summertime, the hottest it might get, 90 and dry.
Yeah.
It's dry heat here. There's no humidity. And I'm talking about strictly Nairobi. I'm not talking about the coast. I'm not talking about any other place in Kenya. I'm talking about Nairobi. Best weather in the world. Never too hot, never too cold. And so in the winter months, it's in between 60, maybe 55 and 70. 55 at night, 70 in the day, which is rainy season more so. Summer months, November through March, April, 60 at night, 65 at night maybe on a hot night, 90 dry in the day. Can't beat that with a constant breeze.
Yeah.
So best weather, quality of life, being a human, you can't beat that. And it's safe.
Yeah, you can't beat
and
that.
it's dope shit here.
A lot of dope.
Tons of restaurants. A lot of places you go to, especially on this continent, there'll be like 5 really good restaurants for an expat to go to, maybe 3 expat type of hotels to stay, 5 clubs maybe that you could go to as an expat that you would feel safe and enjoy. Here, just numerous. I haven't even been to all the dope restaurants.
Yeah. It feels like it's unlimited, honestly. Like,
and there's always new spots opening up. There's damn near about 15 dope hotels you can stay at. And there's hundreds of really nice Airbnbs, for you to stay at. Tons of clubs, tons of bars, tons of restaurants, lounges. If you like cigars, there's cigar bars. There's all kinds of stuff here. Like, enough where you will never get bored going to the same place all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a great place to retire.
Yeah.
And then you have the coast. Then you got places like Navasha, where, like, I have friends that have like weekend houses there, where it's like country living, by a lake, where you eat fresh fish every day, living kind of like a country lifestyle. Like, then you got the safaris, and then it's all these other towns and places around Kenya that you can go to get different experiences. This is a plethora of beautiful things to do in this country where you can't be bored and you'll never get tired of doing the same things.
Yeah, that is a great point. And if you need help getting set up in Kenya, there's going to be a link in the description and on the first pinned comment. Get you situated out here if you're looking for places to stay, looking for safari, looking for information on visas. Like Troy mentioned earlier in the interview, we could get you set up and you have this perfect place, which I call magical, because like Nairobi is magical.
It is.
You could come here and live your best life. And Troy, you want to shout out any of your socials?
Yes, you can hit me at. I'm just an IG person, so you can hit me at Troy underscore Philly, PHILLY underscore White. Troy underscore Philly underscore White.
Yeah, that will be pinned too. And it's your boy Kid Greatness. And remember, you
Kid
can't rush greatness.
My man.
We out. I appreciate it, brother.
Nah, thank you, Bobby, for having me, bro. I'm honored.